Hello, Narf from Narf Sounds of the Kronos Enthusiast Workshops here, presenting for Korg. What do you do if you accidentally erase or overwrite your sounds? So here's what happens. If we go to initialize program and press OK and accidentally write that program, so we had the Berlin Grand there initially, and now it's become an initialized program. We simply go to disk mode and locate the factory folder. So the factory folder should be there in disk mode. Just open that up and locate your PRELOAD.PCG, which is this one. Open that up. So we know that it was program 000, which was the Berlin Grand. We can open that program folder, and that was in bank internal A. So we just open that one. And there it is, Berlin Grand. And we select load. And we make sure that it gets loaded in the same location, which is that one, the internal A 000. And when we press OK, there it is. It's been restored. Now, one of the other things that happens is if you accidentally initialize the program and select all programs in the current bank, and once you do this, the entire bank gets written over, whether or not you actually write program. It just does it automatically. So everything in this bank now, internal A, has been initialized to an init.exi program, and we may not want that. So pretty much the same thing. We go to disk and go to the factory folder, open the factory folder, and locate the PRELOAD.PCG, which is that one. Open that up and go to programs. Open that. And this time we'll load the entire bank. Select that and load, and make sure it loads to the same bank designation, which is bank internal A. So now we're back to how it was before we did the initialize program command. So it's back to normal. So this might happen in a combination as well, in a combi sound. So say I've initialized the combination and accidentally written that, and now I'm stuck with an init combi. So there, and I want my orchestra and timpani back to normal. So I just go back to disk, open the factory folder, open the PRELOAD.PCG, and this time, since it's a combi, I go to the combinations folder, open that. So I know that it was in bank A11. I just locate that particular combi and load, and OK. And when we go back to the combi, it's back to normal. So what do you do if you want to restore your sounds to its factory settings? So we go to disk and go to the factory folder and open that, and we open the PRELOAD.PCG. So the PRELOAD.PCG, if you open that further, you'll see your set lists, programs, combinations, drum kits, wave sequences, and your global settings. Set lists, if you open that, you'll find 128 set lists, and 00 preload set list is the first entry. And when you load this setlist folder, it will overwrite everything in setlist mode. Now when we open the program folder, you'll find the different program banks. You'll see that we've got bank internal A to bank internal F, and we won't find bank internal G because that's a general MIDI bank. We have banks user A up to user F, and we won't find a user G bank, and banks user double A to bank user double D. We won't find user double E, double F, and double G. That means if you load the entire program banks, all those missing banks from this PCG will not be overwritten, and you will have to go to program mode and manually initialize those banks. So in this case, EE is not normally included. So to initialize this entire bank, you have to select Initialize Program and initialize all programs in the current bank to restore this to its factory settings. When we go back to the PCG, it's a similar situation with combinations. If we open that, we'll find that there's only 4 banks of combinations. That means if you have combis from banks internal E to user G, those banks will not be restored if you load this entire PCG file. And here you'll find your drum kits, your wave sequences, and if you want to restore your global settings to the way they were when they shipped, you can just load this file as well, global settings. So to restore the Kronos to its factory condition, simply load the entire PRELOAD.PCG file, which will install all the factory data in the folders that we just discussed. Now remember to reinitialize the program in combination banks that are not listed in the preload folders. So to load the PRELOAD.PCG file, select PRELOAD.PCG, then touch load and OK. And that's how you restore the Kronos back to its factory condition. Thank you for watching.